Honorable President, Mr. Sundar Radvani, Honorable Madhulika Gupta, Vice President, friends. My apologies for reaching late. Usually I reach before time, but today I could not manage that. Please excuse me. I visited in the early morning the site of proposed Chhatrapati Shivaji Memorial to be built in Arabian Seas. The high tide, low tide schedule we missed by a few minutes, and that made me reach here a little late, so I'm sorry. I'm indeed happy to be here with you for this Indo-American Chamber of Commerce third annual conference on corporate social responsibility. This phrase, CSR, is the talk of the town today. We hear many debates, deliberations, talks on this subject, and everyone is trying to understand the true meaning of CSR and of course trying to put their best efforts to reach the goal. In last century, nobody heard this phrase, corporate social responsibility, but even then, businessmen, company heads, they behaved responsibly. In last century, the great businessman Jamsetji Tata, he founded many hospitals, educational institutions, research institutes like Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Tata Cancer Hospital, and so on. Late Jamsetji Jijibhai, he launched JJ School of Art, many institutions, even the bridge connecting suburbs to Island City at Mahal Causeway was built at his instance. So, these industry leaders had the sense of social responsibility even then, in those days. But now we create a theme and try to build more systematic environment systems. Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce and Industries, established in 1968 by then Ambassador Chester Bowles. Even he was accompanied by industry leaders like Shantanu Rao Kirloskar, Harish Mahindra, Ambalal Kilachand. Those were the great people who founded this establishment. And now we should be proud to be number one country, first country, to start implementing concept of CSR by passing an act for 2% spent of corporate profit. Now, many countries are getting themselves engaged with this theme. In America, $1 out of every $9 is earmarked for socially responsible investment. Maharashtra is a classic example for these initiatives, and I am a witness to this. my government launched a scheme, Jalayukta Shivar. See, Maharashtra divided into different regions receives rainfall in different degrees at different places. The areas which are covered with trees, forest and hilly areas, they received good rains. In our coastal lines, Konkan, Vidarbha, here we experience good rains, but areas like Marathwada, southern Maharashtra, the rainfall is very, very short. As a result, we see that last 3 consecutive years, Maharashtra is experiencing drought. And region like Marathwada, today there is just 15% water storage. And everyone is worried how this a month or 2 can be passed without water storage. We are putting our best efforts. Water is being transported by railways from other region to Marathwada. And we are trying to sustain life there. As an industry minister, I also made a point to support the industries and industrial workers. See, as a policy, state policy, we give top priority for drinking water. Second priority is for farming. And lastly, we can allocate water for industries. So industry is the third sector to receive water. As a result, in a district like Latur, many industries could not function, and many industrial workers were rendered jobless temporarily. With no jobs, themselves and their families must be taken care of. And we in government, we decided to provide them food security. All these families who are temporarily lost their jobs, they may regain their jobs in month of June, July, whenever there is proper rainfall. Till then, we are supplying them food at a very, very subsidized rate. 2 rupees a kilo for rice and 3 rupees a kilo for wheat. So in around 100 rupees, a family will get required food grains. Again, this Jalayukta Shivar is an attempt to conserve water. Whatever rainfall we received, after monsoon, few months, the water disappears. We have decided to conserve each drop of water, and many watershed management programs, schemes are being implemented. My party, Shiv Sena, is celebrating actually 50th year. Honorable Balasaheb Thackeray founded Shiv Sena in 1966, so 2016 is our golden jubilee year. But our present president, Honorable Uddhav Thackeray, decided not to celebrate this year. And he appealed all party functionaries to cancel the programs, all the events, and concentrate with their efforts to support people who are facing drought-like situation. So, complementing the government initiative, we also launched many watershed schemes in Marathwada. And yesterday, I had complete review where we could see that more than 100 villages have been now tackled, and rivers, nalas, streams which are dried up have been deepened, desilted, and structures have been created so that in a month's time, when we receive rainfall of whatever quantity, we can conserve water for few more months. So this is excellent example of CSR, because many companies support their activity. We organize all these activities through NGOs. Our party workers do not work, accept money and spend money, no. The NGOs are designated. They identify the spots, they interact with the villagers. Once the villagers are convinced that this is being done for their benefit, they support. And more than 100 villages are now ready, waiting for monsoon to start. And each drop there would be conserved. Industries like Mahindra and Mahindra, JCB, Tata Trust are very active in such activities. We have also planned, after these watershed management schemes, we have plans to plant more trees. I was presented with a certificate where you informed me that trees were planted in that scheme at different places. Now all these water structures and future water bodies all along the borders, we have a plan to plant trees. An expert recently observed that in Maharashtra, why this situation, at some place there is good rainfall and some areas do not receive rain, he observed that this is a clear-cut picture of forestation and deforestation. Wherever there are trees and forests, rainfall is better. And the areas where we do not see any trees, regions like Marathwada or southern Maharashtra, the rainfall is also very, very less. This is not a coincidence. This is a natural feature or man-made calamity, whatever. But still we have opportunity to plant more trees in these areas and prepare for augmenting monsoon-like situations. So this is a scheme I would like to present before you. Any group or industry willing to join these efforts of Government of Maharashtra and the NGOs, you are most welcome. And together we can fight the drought and come over it. And in years, say 2 years, 3 years, we'll be able to eradicate drought-like situation from whole of Maharashtra by creating water bodies in as many as 28,000 villages. That is our target. Every year, 20% villages are being taken care of, and for 5 years, we have a massive plan to make every village free of any fear of acute water shortage. So this is the scheme. As far as Indo-American Chamber of Commerce is concerned, we interact at regular intervals, and I have good rapport with industries, associations in recently concluded Make in India Week, with the active cooperation of all the industry associations, chambers, we could register more than 8 lakh crores worth MOUs signed with government of Maharashtra by investors coming from across the globe as well as domestic investors. Now, challenge before my ministry is to see the conversion, implementation. Otherwise, our critics will continue to say that MOUs remain on papers. We want to change this picture. And we have already started implementing our schemes. We have set up 2 committees, one headed by our Chief Minister of a group of ministers and second headed by our Chief Secretary. These 2 committees monitor the progress of implementing MOUs. Last week I made it clear